Hiya! Welcome! So this is going to be a pretty straightforward record video today, but themed around one act that I've never mentioned on this channel before, because this is really me doing one of my usual let's get into an artist who we know next to nothing about by buying as much work from them as possible. As you can see from the title and the thumbnail, the group I'm talking about, and the group who I'll be showing you 5, I think, albums from today, is a German act called Blutengel. That's German for blood angel, by the way. Now, I'm trying to remember exactly where I heard of them first. I saw the leader, the main guy in Blutengel, Chris Pole. For some reason, one of his posts on Instagram, even though I wasn't following him at the time, was recommended, and it got me to thinking, hang on, I've heard that name Blutengel somewhere before. I'll investigate them further, just from a random Instagram post really. And so I started listening to a few of their songs, some of which hopefully you'll be seeing clips of throughout this video, assuming that the copyright Gestapo don't stop me. And you know what? I fell in love. This reminds me of when I really started listening to more in Strict Confidence a couple of years or so back, and I just wanted to collect as much as possible. Blutengel are phenomenal. They really are way up my street. I mean, I like a lot of different musical genres, as you know, but kind of this dark wave, I think they really classed as, but it's, you know, sort of industrial, it's synth pop, it's electro, it's gothic, it's German, it's all that sort of stuff that I'm really into, obviously being a big fan of Rammstein and ISC for 2. Blutengel, they remind me of Depeche Mode a lot in sort of the production really. The vocalist and main band member, Chris Pole, his voice is not dissimilar to Dennis Osterman's from ISC, and I suppose even a little bit like Till Lindemann from Rammstein. But I think, you know, they've got an identity and a sound of their own really. I don't think there's any actual industrial metal to be found on any of these records. I could be wrong, because obviously I'm going in blind really with the majority of this stuff, and I've only listened to really not much more than a handful of their songs so far, so lots to discover here. And let me show you all these albums all together as I begin, and hopefully I will continue in the new year, possibly, my Blutengel collection. So the first album of theirs that I bought was a purchase from the Athens independent record store, Le Disque Noir. And this is from 2019, I think. There may be some years on screen when I play some music clips, so if I get any years wrong as I'm talking about them, I apologise. But this is their studio album, and I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of some of these words as well. Erlösung, the Victory of Light. Quite a lot of their work, they have sort of these subtitles and these extra bits, which kind of makes them stand out a bit more. Ooh, nice arse there on the front cover. Bit of a look at the back. I'm not going to talk about any of the music or tracks or anything because I can't, but what I can do is I can show you the vinyl, as I think all of this should be coloured vinyl. There's a mail opening to do at the end, and that might actually just be black vinyl, but we'll find out in a bit anyway. This should be 2 LPs worth. The price of this is a little bit pricey. Nowhere sort of closer to home was selling it, at least not for a reasonable price. So that is clear vinyl, but I think the second disc in here might be a different colour, so we will check that as well. Couldn't find this anywhere in the UK. A few German sellers, inevitably, but a place that I'd used previously, Le Disque Noir, to buy a couple of Till Lindemann 7-inch singles a couple of months ago. They had this, and including the postage, it was probably between £40 and £50. Yes, I thought it was a different colour, so this is a transparent blue really. Very nice indeed. Some nice inner sleeves here as well. So yes, obviously this isn't the sort of video where I'm discussing the music and really trying to sell Blutengel to you. Well, I am trying to sell them to you, but I'm kind of selling them to myself as well, really, as I've not heard everything they've done so far. Great to have that album, but obviously there is more.
You feel so lost in this world, just like me. Just like me. I want the pain to stop, just like you. Darkness awaits us. Darkness awaits us. Life is passing by. We will reach our ends of past. All the dreams we had, all the love we felt, rumble to dust. We fall into the void, the world is darkness for you and me. Darkness awaits us, we are lost in eternity. Darkness awaits us.
The next one from Blutengel was an eBay pickup. I think it was from Music Magpie on eBay, which some UK viewers here will know of Music Magpie, selling off usually second hand, but this is new, certainly new and sealed. Second hand DVDs, Blu-rays, video games, I think, and of course CDs and records. This album, I believe, is from 2021. And I decided to get this from eBay, and specifically Music Magpie, because there was a 30% off code. So while it was listed for £45 thereabouts with free postage, I ended up getting this with free postage, of course, still for around £35, and that is certainly the cheapest I've seen. Unsterblich, Our Souls Will Never Die. Another one to get open. Don't know why I put my knife up there. I think from now on, even though a lot of this is still 2 discs, I believe both discs are the same colour, so I will just show you one of the records within. I'm trying to be a bit careful with the cellophane here, but there's no hype stickers to conserve, so I needn't worry really. I'm going to take the cellophane off properly when I start listening to this stuff. Can't remember what colour this is, but I know it is coloured, or I believe it is. Oh, it's white. Yes, I do remember. Oh, God, that's very tight and staticky in this inner sleeve here. White vinyl for Unsterblich. Another full studio album a couple of years after the previous one I showed you. So very pleased to have got that. Unsterblich, Our Souls Will Never Die.
Es gibt noch so viel zu sehen. Ich nehm dir deine Angst. Ich küsse deine Wunden und reich dir meine Hand.
Ich kann nie wieder fliegen, denn meine Flügel sind aus Stein. Lass mich los und zieh weiter. Lass mich los, du musst dich von mir befreien. Ich kann nie wieder fliegen, denn meine Flügel sind aus Stein. Lass mich los und zieh weiter. Lass mich los, du musst dich von mir befreien.
And we move on to their most recent studio album. This was a pickup from EMP. Not used EMP in an awful long time. I've bought certain Rammstein albums and merchandise from EMP, but not in a good couple of years or so. And it is, now I'm going to butcher this as well, Damonen or Damonen Sturm. This came out, I think it was earlier this year, 2025. I'm going to get this one open as well. I can't talk about any of the tracks, I'm afraid, but hopefully you'll have been seeing some clips of tracks from these albums throughout the course of this video. But they just sound so good. One of those groups who I know nothing about, barely heard of them, and then as soon as I listen to a bit of their music, they become one of my favourites instantly. So this is dark green really, I think this album came out on a different vinyl format as well that might have been an exclusive to Out of Line Music, their record label back in Germany, who coincidentally is also Till Lindemann's current record label as a solo artist. I did try and order some Blutengel stuff, some of these records, on the Out of Line website, but they didn't seem to ship to the UK, which was annoying. Is that a double album? Yes, that's a double album as well. Thank you to EMP there. The price of this, by the way, I think it was £30 and then about another £5 in postage, and it would have come from Germany or somewhere in Central Europe as well, so very happy with that.
Too many questions in my head, too many nights without sleep, too many days have passed. I feel alone in this world, only bad news on TV, and my anxiety is getting worse. Ich schaue an, voll Nacht und meinen Träumen, vor jedem neuen Tag. Ich schaue an, vor der Zeit, in der wir leben, nichts bleibt so wie es war.
So we go out of the chronology now for the last two records. This and the mail opening are both Discogs purchases. This one is classed as a mini album. It was from a UK seller. Hardly anyone, be it Discogs or eBay, really in the United Kingdom are selling any Blutengel. I'm sure they've got a sizable fan base over here. You can count me as one of them now. This is Fountain of Destiny, and it's a mini album. I'd say it's longer than an EP. It's certainly classed as a mini LP on Discogs anyway. But it's a covers album, this. And this was really the first thing that I investigated, and it reminded me of when I started listening to more Within Temptation, kind of within the last year or so. I really started my collection of theirs with their covers album, which I thought was brilliant. And I know cover versions can be very hit and miss depending on what track it is and who's doing it, but from the bits I've heard from Fountain of Destiny, Blutengel have pulled a blinder here. I'll just give you a couple of examples of the covers that are on here. The Wild Boys, that's originally Duran Duran. Alone, I think, is a cover of the Heart song from the 1980s. Nobody's Diary was originally Yazoo. The Sun Always Shines on TV, brackets Blutengel version, while In Strict Confidence have done a fantastic cover of that. And Ship of Fools by Erasure, and there's some other good stuff on here as well. I will get this open. So this is just a single LP, it not being a full-length one or an official studio album as it were, but it should be coloured vinyl still. Nice heavyweight pink vinyl here. I'm looking forward to hearing all of this, but I'm certainly looking forward to hearing all their cover versions on this. I suppose maybe it's classed as like a bonus release really by Blutengel, but that is Fountain of Destiny.
We don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in a sandpit, life is a short trip. The music's for the sad man. Can you imagine when this race is won? Turn our golden faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, we getting in tune. The music's played by the madman. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever and ever. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever, forever young.
And then finally, this has come in the post just minutes ago. I've been waiting for this for a little while. It's taken about 11 or 12 days to come from Germany because it seemed to sit at UK customs for a couple extra days, but not to worry. And this will be the oldest Blutengel album in my collection. Don't think they've got much else out on vinyl now after all this that I've shown you. There'll be one or two things, but they'll just be too expensive for me to get. You know, I need to shop around or wait some more. I think this is second hand as well. I've got the album out, but I'm just checking that there's nothing else in here. I think it's just extra packaging material in there, so I can chuck that out. So this is from all the way back in 2011, if you can say that's all the way back. Nachtbringer. It's been separated out. The vinyl looks like it's just black vinyl, this, but as it's unsealed, we'll get it open and look. Yeah, it is. Feels quite heavyweight though, probably 180 gram vinyl there still. The other disc, I can see that that's black as well, and the centre label looks pretty much identical. So I won't worry too much about that. This is a gatefold sleeve. I think at least a couple of those are gatefold, but to try and keep this video moving along fairly quickly, I've not shown you, but I will show you the gatefold for this. Very nice. Credits. Is it credits, or I think it's like sections of lyrics actually on that side of the gatefold sleeve. Fountain of Destiny, by the way, that was pretty cheap. I think including postage it wasn't much more than £20 because it was from a UK Discogs seller. This one, I can't remember, even though it's my most recent Blutengel purchase, but given it was from Germany and there have been taxes to pay, I'd say it was probably around the £40 odd mark.
Deep in our heart a fire will rise. This world is built from a million lies. How can we live in the land of the dead? Where everyone speaks but nothing is said. Tief in unserer Seele brennt die Glut. In unseren Adern fließt das schwarze Blut. Wir reiten immer weiter durch die Nacht. Die neue Freiheit ist in uns erwacht. Tief in unserer Seele brennt die Glut. In unseren Adern fließt das schwarze Blut. Wir reiten immer weiter durch die Nacht. Die neue Freiheit ist in uns erwacht.
5 albums, 4 full-length studio albums and 1 sort of bonus covers mini album. Yeah, so happy that I've been able to start this collection, and hopefully I'll be able to show you some more Blutengel in Records Roundup in the future, assuming what's available. There's a couple of singles that are on vinyl. I might get them. I don't collect singles for every artist that I'm into, but I'll no doubt be tempted to with an act as amazing as this. I really can't speak highly enough of them, and I know that I've only scratched the surface, so I urge you to do at least the same, if not more, and stream them, or if the CDs are cheap somewhere, you know, treat yourself and experience the joy of Blutengel like I am doing in my music collection and music listening from today onwards. I want to say thank you all for watching this, with special thanks that go to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. I'm going to go now, and of course I'm going to start listening to Blutengel. Possibly do it in chronological order, but it doesn't really matter. If so, then Nachtbringer will be the first one I listen to, but I'm going to listen to it all, and I know absolutely definitely I'm going to enjoy it all, because only the bits and pieces that I've heard so far I've fallen in love with, and I hope that you will too if you give them a go. If you don't, then that's your prerogative. I'm not here to change hearts and minds after all. But I will say my goodbyes now and ask that you join me again for my next record collecting video. Cheers everyone. See ya!